Hey, welcome to part 10. In part 10 we're gonna start working on the hairline. So let's go ahead and place this one as the hairline. Let's put the hairline on 10. This one and square 10 hairline 3D hairs. Let's place them like here. And we don't need to make them go all the way there. We can just halfway through the hair say, let's make the end here. Rebuild. And I think it's pretty obvious that we have a little problem. Like here it's really segmented. But see, the segments over here, they're great. They have a good resolution and they're matching here. So to fix this, let's go here, toggle geometry edit, select the insert tool, now go to settings and put edge flow on and control click. That's just gonna smooth it out. I'm gonna do 2 more, just to make it really nice and smooth. And you can see how nice that looks now here. Toggle geometry edit off. Go ahead and create a better shape. I think like that's good. Can make sure that we're having a good flow. So like that. And Alt 1 to hide the curve. So let's take a look how that looks. I think we actually made the root a little bit too thin. Let's place a few more first and then we can see. Let's just make a duplicate. Actually, we don't make a duplicate. We do a mirror. Because we didn't change any settings, it's all fine. Only need to orient it a little bit. Now we can do a fill. Let's do like 5. And I think we need a little bit more actually. Let's try 7. Oof. I don't know what happened. We did a double click. I want to hide. think like that's okay. We do need to like break up the curves a bit because they're really symmetrical now. Yeah, we definitely need to add a little bit more thickness there. Which is cool. It's a really easy thing. Thickness and just... We can choose to do all, but I'm just gonna do the root. And I think that's a lot better. Now you can actually see that we did something with the hairline here. And I think I don't like the shape. We should have a little bit more, like more of a shape here. Let's go to hairline hairs. Let me just delete all of them. Except for this one. Let's change the shape here. I think something more like that. Let's go geometry edit and smooth this one out a little bit as well. So like that. I think we can also move this a little bit here to have a better flow. Mirror it. So we have a nice orientation. This time I'm just gonna do it one. I think it's a little bit easier to edit when you do them one by one. So I do want to have this one more at the front than the other ones. I think we can do one and one. Doesn't work. One. And one. I'm pretty sure we can select them and go to, let's see, randomize. Let's see. Don't remember exactly how this works. Need to select them all and enable them. Like this. And yeah, you can see how that's now like giving us some randomized results. Just like a preview. Once we actually hit randomize, it's gonna be more random. That's way too much. Ah. We cannot undo that. That's a real pain. We just have to Control Z until it undoes all of them. So like that. Let's make sure we take a good look at our preview. So like that. And there's a double one here. Now we can do a fill in between. That still doesn't work. Great. Fill. Fill. And just fill them out. Let's select all of them again. Look the first CV. Like that. And this randomized stuff is really nice to just add some quick variation. Let's see, I think we're going quite high on poly count with this stuff. Let's do an export and see how it looks. It does look really nice though. Yeah, let's just see if we fill out this whole chunk will be 12 and 3. Let's make it a little bit more cheap. I think it's quite heavy now. So I think the easiest way to make it cheap is to take the card, make it a little bit more thick. And the most important one is to do an unbind. Okay, let's change the divisions all the way down to 8. And we can take it and take a curve and just bind it again. Now we can reduce. I'm gonna make it less long. Now that's less long, we can make it go into the hair earlier. Sure, it's looking natural. Again, toggle geometry edit. Let's add some extra resolution to these parts. think we need one more there. So now it's gonna be a little bit cheaper. An export to just quickly check it out. Let's see, bank group. Do need to put it in the hair group again. Yeah, I think that looks nice. It's gonna be a lot cheaper now. This time let's start with the middle and just do a bunch of duplicates. Just change the color to something more different so we can easily see it. This time let's lay down all of them before we randomize anything at all. Make sure everything's rotated the right way. Again, I'm just doing the like the pillars, the outlines, and then I can fill in between of them. I'm also going to do one here. We don't need as much curvature over here. Something more like that. Make sure it's following the flow. This one also has way too much curvature. Let's go ahead and mirror them. Oriented nicely. I think we could use one more. That's gonna be like right here. Like that. And let's take all these. You can see how the poly count is a lot better right now. We're only at 500 tries. But we do still have to fill though. Let's do one fill. And that looks terrible. So we're gonna have to go one by one. And for this one, I think we can do 2. The same here too. Maybe for this one too as well. Same for here, let's go with 2. And 2. Let's check our poly count. 1k, that's fine. That's pretty low. You can see all these nice hairs. I think we can go a little bit higher actually. Let's take a hairline. See, here we can add another one. Oh, yeah. Yeah. And you can see how much polygons we can save just by making the hairs shorter and come in earlier and reducing the segments. So 1.5k. I think that's fine for this kind of detail. Now let's select all of these. And let's make a save this time. As you saw, the randomize can kinda screw you over. Let's orient this. I just wanna have like the bright side turned up. So like that. Now let's select all of them. Have you seen this? Let's make a new save. Can we edit this all at once? No. Let's go to a randomize. Let's enable all of these things. Do want to lock the first CV though. Let's go ahead and lock the last. Nah. So here we can see like a preview. The twist doesn't work. It's fine. I don't think I want to touch the width. See, that's doing weird stuff. Let's try it like that. See if we can get something to look normal here. Nope, let's disable that one. Tape also doesn't work. I think that's because we have like clumped cards. So like that. This one's gonna be the most important one, right? That's too much. Let's try it like this, randomize. Now we have some nice randomized stuff going on. do think I want to go in and just... Can I change multiple ones? Yeah, I can. Just select some of them and change the width. So just by doing so and adjusting the width, we can create a little bit more variation. Now let's go in and some and let's try to see if we can change the twist for all of them. No, just for one, that's okay. So just go in and like add some twist to a few of them. This just to randomize the look a bit more. We do want to make sure that they're not actually floating above the head itself. So I think like that. Let's go ahead and see how this looks. So you can see the hairline starting to take place a little bit better. And I think we made a little bit too much of a shape here. So that's a little bit of a pain to go in for all of them and fix. But I prefer to just go in at all of them and fix them. I think maybe we can do multiple at once. Yeah, we can. That's amazing. Let's just select one, go to control vertex, select others, control vertex. Alright, so we do need to do it one by one, selecting the curve. That's fine, that's still pretty fast. Select all these points, get rid of soft select, just move them all in. Hide the curves for now. I think like that, maybe a little bit better. Actually, let's take these points all as well. Let's just move those a little bit, see what we can get. Down a little bit more. I think like that. So before, is this really awkward shape? Yeah, that's better. You can see how the hairline's finally slowly starting to actually come together. I think we'll do the same thing that we did for here. So if you take a close look, you have like these thinner hairs. There's quite a lot of them. And right now it's really thick and not too nice to transition. But first let's take a look in Unreal Engine. You know, it's important to see that it looks fine here as well. Yeah, that looks great. It's a little bit uniform on the hairline, but I think as soon as we start like adding like these noisy baby hairs that we're doing early, it's gonna break the hairline up perfectly. So that's fine for now. It's working from all angles. Works really well from the top actually. So yeah, that's great. Let's go ahead and do the same for here. We need quite a lot here, and then we need a little bit less here. So let's go ahead and repeat the thing that we did here on the back side. First I'm gonna take all these hairs. Let's group them together. Let's call them front. Let's take this one, duplicate it. And this area is still pretty different from this area. So I'm gonna split it up in the front part, the back part, and this will be the side part. So let's do the back part first. So also go ahead and hide the ponytail. And I do wanna, even though it's not too visible, we're gonna put attention here as well. Because let's say if we animate the ponytail and it's gonna like move around, everything here will be visible. So that's something to keep in mind. If you're not gonna animate at all, you can have this, which is not visible, be kinda messy. Go ahead and hide the hash sheet. Let's put this onto the hash sheet. Again, be careful that you select the whole group. Let's call this one back. Let's also make a duplicate of this one and call it side. Just so we have it already. And just hide it for now. Actually, let's take this hair. Just moved out of the way for the export. So let's go ahead and make sure the orientation is okay. And we messed the rotation up here. As you can see, it's a lot of black. I'm gonna need to fix that later. But first, let's do the backside hairs. Let's do pink as well. Hold on. And it's not working because we have a duplicate name. Let's just go ahead and rename that one. And now it works again. We have a lot of different colors here. Not sure if it's gonna be really visible. As you can see, it's gonna be really difficult to actually tell what we're doing here. Let's just get these and hide them. And you can just alt click until it gets orange, the layer. And then we'll bring back the curves. So I'm just gonna select, let's make it safe first. Select everything here. Let's just give it all the same color. Actually, let's maybe go with white. Let's unhide. These are a little bit thick as well. As you can see, it's a little bit easier to visualize now. Let's go ahead and toggle all the curves again. And that one's on the wrong layer. So let's add it to 10. Now we have a curve back. So now let's go ahead and place the hairs. So I think I'll do it until here, like the middle of the low middle of the ear. I'm just gonna start over there. And for this, it's gonna be the side. Still feel like these are a lot more visible though. Let's go ahead and just place them. I think it's just looking more visible because we have so many, right? See, there they go to the middle. Let's just do the same here. I go to around the middle. And the rotate's feeling a bit weird. You just go to tool and reset it and see if that works. Nope. I think it's because we have very few points. Actually, if you remembered, we added the topology here. Let's just take this one and delete it. We're gonna take one of these. Let's duplicate it. Move it to the right group. Make sure you do the whole group. This is just so we don't need to edit the topology here again with the segment stuff. So around the middle of the ear. And these hairs should be pretty far here. Almost at the end of the hairline, like the last hairs. Gonna do some more like fuzzy hairs still. Like all these baby hairs and some noise here. This is pretty close to the like the final layer. So we're starting to get to the end of the hair, which is nice. As you can see, hair takes a really long time to get it right. And I feel like doing like this layer for some hairs that have like this cross thing going on. It's gonna just add a lot of depth to your hair. But you do want to make sure that you don't do it everywhere, like here it's not needed. We just need like an outline of hairs that have like a nice depth. And then in the middle we can keep it all like flat-ish. And then all the way at the end, we're gonna add some extra cards to give a little bit of depth here, but not as much as we're doing at the outline of the hair. But you'll see by then. It's called the flyaway hairs. Yeah, pay attention to where the backside is. And I do want to get some nice curve here. I think like that's good. Like this. Change the flow up a little bit. So let's go ahead and make a quick export just to see how it's looking. So the before. And the after. And I think that looks pretty nice. I do want to change the flow a little bit. Something more like this. I think we are lacking a little bit of curvature. You can see they have a lot of curvature here. It's going a little bit too close to the ear. So a little bit further away from the ear. Let's get some more gravity. Maybe push this in a little bit. Yeah, I think that looks nice. Maybe push out the roots a little bit. Let's keep it like this for now. So let's go ahead and mirror this to the other side. Make sure the orientation is okay. And it doesn't matter if these cards are intersecting. Just make sure that the alpha, it looks okay. So like that's okay. Let's do a fill. Where's the reset pivot? Oh, these should be a little bit under the ear. I think it is okay. So like that. Now let's put them in between like these spaces here. We go here. You can see clearly that we have these cube-like shapes going on here. So we should try to place them in between here. So we get this nice smooth continuation of cards. Eye out and flow. Like this, I'm gonna feel. I think you can take this point, just move it to this side a bit. Because right now it's really like going like this and like this, like it's on the side. And I want to try to get more of a like this effect that has actually here on the root. Then they do some curve and they go up. I'm not sure if I'm explaining it clearly, but let's just do that for them. So I think that looks a little bit better. I think we have a little bit too much volume in these. With volume, I mean the curve here. I think we can tone that down a little bit. Let's try to rebuild. I'm just trying to get a point here. Do the same here, rebuild, get a point there. So I think the other ones are fine. Maybe push this one out a little bit more. I'm just looking to this one to have like a nice interpolation between the two. So I think like that. Check the rotation. I think that's fine. Let's go ahead and fill these up. And that's not working. So, like this. Remember what I said earlier? We want to try to fill up these awkward gaps, so just move it a little bit. Same for this one. And this one like here. You can see I'm trying to get a nice, smooth, continuous line. Let's push this one in a bit further. Let's get rid of all that curvature here. These hairs are also gonna be like more tight, so we don't need the curvature. This is more like loose and this is more graffiti. I think like that, starting to look pretty natural. We have a little bit of a problem with the flow though. Like this flow's going here and the flow underneath is going like this. So let's just quickly fix that. Can select a few. Just edit flow a bit. Especially here. So the flow's a little bit better. I think we can push it a bit more here though. So like that. So let's do another export. That's looking nice. I think we still have some problem here with the flow. We have a weird card. And here's a little bit noisy and messy. Let's ignore that for now. This one. Maybe we'll just get rid of that whole card. For now, let's take all these. Let's get rid of the middle one. And mirror them. The orientation is okay. Let's go ahead and fill these two. And we're gonna do the same thing that we did for the others. Just click randomize. Let's start randomizing these cards. To the width. Randomize the orientation a bit. I think this one's quite nice. It's giving like some clumping effect. Like that. And Leslie. Make sure it's enabled if it's not doing anything. Let's try it like this, it's a bit messy. Just go ahead and fix that card tip that we saw earlier. So that's that one. think that's the back has B, yeah. So 6. Should be this one. Let's go ahead and give this one a different color. You can see it's kind of ugly and wavy. Just make it a little bit thinner. Let's see. Just mess around with the orientation a bit more. You can see how easy it is to just assign a different color to one card, except for the whole, instead of all the cards in the layer. Now you can really easily troubleshoot that one card. Like, becomes really clear what you're changing. I think this is gonna be a bit better. So it's over here, the mess. Let's see. Yeah, that's a bit better. Also don't like this one here. The other ones are pretty good, I think. You can see how we are starting to get a lot of nice depth here. Let's go ahead and see which one this is. Let's get the tail in here. I'm just trying to spot the card that's wrong. So I think it's over here, this thingy here. Let's hide the tail again. I think it's gonna be the... No, it's not. Maybe the back ass? It's the back ass this time. Get the curves in here. It's gonna be the most outer one, I think. Yeah, this one. So again, I'm gonna make this one orange. And I think it's the rotation here. Because he's doing some weird stuff as well here. Yeah, look, the width's all wrong. It's from the mirroring. So let's do it like this. I'm just making it really thin, so it's gonna blend in better. Let's just take this point and move it in a bit more as well. I think this will fix it, probably. Could also be this thingy over here. Let's take a look. So yeah, it was that one. I think like this, okay. There's some floating going on here though. That's this one. It's because of the randomization. You can also lock the last one if you want of the curve points. That way it won't be able to mess up like this. I feel like we get a little bit better result if we just keep it unlocked. And if one becomes messed up, we can move it with the hand later. So something like this. Let's see. So the floating is gone. I think this one's really extreme, like how much it's pointing out. Again, like I mentioned earlier, don't be afraid to go in and to change the stuff. This one came a little bit weird as well. Basically, all that hair is doing, just going back and forward between layers and constantly adjusting everything. It's pretty fun, actually. Because I think doing hair with haircuts is one of the most satisfying things in 3D art. Because it takes so much time and it just looks horrible the whole time. And then in the end, when everything's starting to come together, it's like starting to look like something. That feels nice. But maybe it's different for you. Maybe you absolutely hate what we're doing right now. And to that, don't worry. The future, we won't have to do haircuts anymore. So let's hide those curves. Go ahead and select some. We're just gonna change the width like we did with the front. So make some a little bit thicker. You see how repetitive the roots are right now? So let's take some and twist them at the root. It's just gonna give a little bit more variation for free. You can see how fast and easy this is. We don't need to do any other new haircuts or whatever. Just going in and rotating the roots. I think this one's a little bit weird. Ah, that fixed it. So also go ahead and click this one, disable the textures. And then this one, it's going to give us the basic material. Let's go ahead and fix those. It's just a bit easier to see with the basic material for me. And we don't need to see the texture, we just need to see where the front side is. So right now that's looking a lot better. You can see the idea here. Here the back side is pointing to the right side. And here we're gonna make it point to the left side. So it's covering each other's back sides up. And from the front it looks okay as well. There's not too many back sides showing. And the problem with back sides is that it's just gonna be a little bit darker on your model when you view the back side opposed to the front side. But it's not as much as a problem that we need to do, like spend a lot of time getting all the back sides out. We just wanna go in quickly and kinda get rid of them. It's no problem if you have some backside shown. But it also depends on the layer. Like in the base layer, it's much more important to not have the backside shown. But on thinner cards like this, you cannot avoid it. Like you're always gonna have some backside. Let's get our material back. Let's go ahead and re-import an Unreal. And by doing this, also nice to see the before and after. So before and after. We're gonna need to break up the transition here a bit later. Like stick some haircuts in between to break up the uniformity. But for now, let's fill out the sides. Also mess around with the material a bit. Let's make sure we delete all the PNG here. So PNG. Just delete those. And won't let us delete when we have Photoshop open. So just rename them. Does that work? I also know. I think the depth one's pretty nice and specular. Let's also try the maybe the ID. I think the depth one was nice. You can also try the root. Maybe invert it. Can we invert it here? No, I think we have to do it in Photoshop. So let's just use the depth one. The one worked pretty nice. Let's try the same for the roughness. Maybe an ID. Let's try the root one. Later we're gonna bring these maps in Photoshop and edit them how we want them. But for now I just want it to be fast. So let's just keep it empty for now. The specular one's really working well with the depth. Let's try some thin surface. I think we have translucency map. We do. Maybe like this. Let's go ahead and just duplicate the material. This way we can go here and go thin surface none. We can check the difference. I think it looks better without, so let's edit it. Let's see if we can get something to look nice. Nah, I think it looks better without. Just keep it without for now. This is gonna be like the directionality of the hair reflections. We have a direction map. I think like this. Again, we can make a duplicate. Oops, it should be GGX. So maybe a little bit less specular. I think that looks nice. Maybe we can make the hair a little bit darker as well. Let's try here. Yeah, I like that. Remember, we can mess around with the occlusion as well. I'm gonna put a little bit less. And a little bit darker. So I think that looks really nice. This is a little bit too thin, the hairs on top here. It's just fiber shop. Make sure it's locked. Let's try to do a width density. Just get a little bit more hairs in there. Maybe some, no. Just a width density. So let's try that. Maybe a little bit thicker as well. Just a little bit. Actually, design. Get some roots around this. And I think that did a terrible job. Yeah, that totally messed it up. Not sure why. Let's check the height. Or the depth height. Make thin again as well. Yeah, that looks a lot better now again. It's a little bit reddish. Let's go to the camera. Maybe just a contrast. Saturation. Let's go ahead and make a save. Let's call this fiber 02. So we can always go back to the one where it looks fine. Let's try maybe 6.8. I think we can push to 7. So let's see. I think that looks nice. It's a little bit thicker now. So let's keep it like this. Maybe a little bit lighter. I think in specular we can put like a little bit of an orange tint maybe. And let's change the camera settings. More contrast. Color a little bit darker. Remember the color, we're gonna use a texture later on. All that we're doing now is just to preview the hair and to build the hair. You could use this to render as well. Starting to look pretty nice. So let's go ahead and do this area. You can see that has quite a lot of curvature going on here. So let's just duplicate one. Move it out the way. Actually, we already had one here. Let's get rid of that one. Take this one. Arrow up to select the whole group. Now just move it to side. And finally reset the pivot. And these ones are quite thick though, so we're gonna need some extra cards laid on underneath them. So ignore this thingy here. Let's put them here. Again, pay attention to the flow. And like I said, these ones have quite a lot of gravity. So let's take this one. Just pull it down a little bit. We already have some here, but I think I'm gonna place like one more here. This is just gonna place one in between to make the transition a little bit more easy. So I think I'll follow this card here. And I think we can just fill this up with like 3. Yeah, that's fine. Now, take the side. Let's fill this one up with 1. You can see it's doing a little bit of an odd thing here. Let's make them go in a bit earlier. You can see I'm just trying to break the repetitive behavior. We have one card here that I don't like. Check the rotation, that's fine. Let's mirror them. And before we do the randomize, just do a quick export and see how it's looking. I'm constantly going back and forward between cards, because the truth is you don't need the perfect placement for the card. It just needs to be kinda in the right place. Then you just go back and forward and you move things around until everything falls nicely together. Let's take this one. Let's fix the flow up a bit. It's really straight now, so something like that. Move it out a bit. I think like that's okay. So that's pretty low to do the whole hairline. So it's around 3K. That's fine for me. So let's do an export. And that's looking nice. And you can see that the hairline, right now it's becoming pretty soft, which is nice. As soon as we add like these hairs, these fluffy hairs falling down here, it's gonna look really nice. And that's the next thing that we're gonna do. Let's do these baby hair strands. It's also gonna help a lot here to visualize how the whole hair looks. Because there's like an outline of the hair, right? Here we have an outline, and some outlining here. So let's go ahead and make new textures for the baby hairs here. So we can just take this one and duplicate it. Make sure to unlock. And first let's make it a little bit less thick. You want these to be really soft, as we're gonna clump together like 4 or 5 cards, like we did with the hair clumps over here. But they need to be a lot more soft. So one important thing is that we have quite a lot of clumping here. We don't want to have the hairs next to each other. They need to stick together. So just try to look at one piece of the hair at a time. So right now I'm going kind of for here, where you see that we have a lot of hairs sticking together. So let's go ahead and change the randomness of the length. And add some curl. And the hair should be a little bit close together. Just change the width. I think the curl's a bit too strong. So I think that's a nice hair to start with. Make sure that we lock it. Now for the second one, just look to, first we're looking to this part. Just go to another part and look at the hairs. So maybe for this one we can do one that's a little bit more thick. Make sure that it's not exactly like curling in the same direction. I think this one's pretty nice. We have a nice clump here. And again, you can change the seats until you get something that you like. I think we can try to clump this a little bit tighter together. And to do variations really quickly, we can just keep everything the same. Just change the seats up a bit. And let's also go to curl and shift it a bit. Let's go ahead and organize a little bit. See, that's a little bit difficult to find this one. So we can call this one baby hair 03. I think this is the one that we were looking for. And I wish we could make groups here, but seems like we can't. Be nice to group all the baby hairs together. whatever. So this is the last baby hair. For this one I want to do one that's a little bit shorter. So let's just take this one and decrease the length. So let's make half the length. And we can go ahead and make the curl a little bit less strong as well. And as you can see here, it's quite clumped, so we want to increase the clump. We do this by just increasing the strength. So something like this. You want to make sure that you don't have like these ugly bended tips. So you want to be careful for that. Think like this and make it a little bit less thick. Because right now here it's really thick. I want to make sure that I don't make the roots too thin, so we can go here and we can thin the middle out. So let's go ahead and add some noise. Just some slight noise. Now let's first duplicate it. We can place this one underneath. So this cut's gonna be the same purpose, but I wanna have some variation now in this one. Just gonna scatter. I think that could be a nice one. I'll make that a little bit thicker though. I wish we could add more points here. That'd be really nice. Let's go ahead and duplicate this one. We're just gonna make like a really fine thin one. And you can see how I'm not really working with the sketch anymore that we did earlier. It's just to quickly get an idea of the first cards. So let's go ahead cat and make this one long. And you can see like this is really fluffy. So to get a really fluffy effect, we make this one a little bit thicker. Let's make the density higher. And make sure that's not clumping as much. Can have a little bit of clump in there. So let's go here and then now we can kind of choose where we want clumping. That's gonna be my first clump. Now let's do a second one. So something like this. You can see how we just have a little bit of clumping going on now. And the main scatter, let's up the density by quite a lot. I think we can make it a little bit thicker even. Quite a lot of randomness in the length here. Now let's make this really thin. Let's check the alpha. I think maybe 0.2. And you can see how this card's by far the most transparent card that we have. Because this just gonna like give him some hue. Like you don't really see the hairs at this point anymore. You just see some glowing color for some hairs. That's what this card's gonna do. I think we should make it a little bit less long though. Something like this. Let's call this one noise card. As essentially all this card's gonna do, it's gonna add noise to the hair. I think we should also add a noise modifier. This one can be quite strong, because these hairs are quite untamed and messy. If we change the length, we can like change the frequency of the noise. I think something like this. I don't like how much it's like going here. I think that's the curl. Now it's the clump. So let's translate. Something like this. We can mess around with the translations to get a different feel to the card. I do feel like this is the best. We can try to get rid of this. It's okay, let's keep it for now. Let's go ahead and duplicate this card. And I want to have like a smaller one as well. We could just take the card, the hair card, and just scale it down. But the problem with that is that as soon as we make it less long, the curl doesn't change strength, and it should be a little bit less strong. And let's go on this clump strength and make it a little bit soft on the roots. I think we can use a few flyaway noise and make this one a little bit less long as well. Let's try the same here. Ease out the root. Or something like that. And this is super straight right now. I want to have like a little bit of a curve here. So we can do a new curl. Just place it at the bottom. Actually above the noise. Now to scale we can disable everything except for the tip. Now you see that we have some curling going on only there. So let's try this. Okay, place this one down a little bit more and increase the length. Go ahead and lock the UVs. I'm also gonna make a new save, just to have some backups. And also one nice thing about, we made new cards for the baby hairs that are gonna be here. We're not reusing like these cards. So now if we want the baby hairs to be a little bit less thin, we can adjust the thickness on here. And it won't mess up any of the work that we did. So let's bake it out. Let's go ahead and export. Again, an easy way to make sure that the export has the right path, just do the action. And if it updates, everything's correct. As you can see, it updated, everything's good. I think at the end, like at all these cards, we're gonna go back into Photoshop and we're gonna add a little bit of noise to them. As they're pretty straight right now, all of them. And you can see having this kind of noise in them makes them look a bit more realistic. So Alt-1 to get your curves. Let's take everything here. Can we just move this? Nope. Can we? I think that shouldn't be a problem. Nah, actually let's not do that. Maybe it will mess up something. Just take this one and move it. Take these little ones. And we're gonna assign all the new textures. So let's go back to Photoshop actually. Let's take a more bright color. A little bit brighter. Let's quite dark. But that's okay. Let's see, this is the first one. So make sure you're not getting this haircut as well. The root. And let's scale it down. Make a duplicate. Let's take the next hash. It's a little difficult to see which hash should be there. So you can kind of zoom out until they start clumping together. And it will be a little easier to tell. So I like to just go down and check, and then go up one more time to check, to make sure that the UVs are okay. Again, you want to try to have the haircut quite close to the texture, to minimize the alpha overdraw. So we can put this one down a little bit. Let's change the length. And also the width. I'm not sure why my old one is not working. But we can just go here and disable it. Just to kinda see better what we're doing. I think that's okay. So this one needs to be a lot thicker. Let's decrease the length a little bit. And I'm not putting them next to each other because I'm trying to match the texture sheet. So I can easily see which card's which one. Now you can see the problem quite clearly. If we make this long one thinner, it's gonna be really noisy. So we have this really pointy hair here, and I'm just gonna ignore it. And I don't want to put this on here because I'm gonna have a lot of extra alpha overdraw if I do. And this cut is so thin, if we don't catch every head, it's okay, you're not gonna notice. You can see that it becomes quite unclear which card is which. So one way we can fix this is we can take all the baby cards that we just did. Let me see, I think... Let me just undo. Yeah, it's all these. So let's make sure to not give them a brown color, but a different one. Let's go with green. We can also do this for cards that we did earlier. So we don't have the base card here, but that's okay. And by the way, if your textures are like really low quality here, and in the hair here, you want to go to render, viewport. And you want to make sure that the clamp texture resolution is turned off. If it's on, it will not be any higher size than what you put here. So let's go ahead and start doing the baby hairs. I'm just gonna take all these and let's duplicate them. Actually, let's not do it that way. Let's delete those. And delete this one. So be sure that you select the group. Now let's group them together and call them baby hairs. Then they should be on 11. Let's go here and put 11. We should start with an underscore. And you can see how we're pretty far in the stack. We just have some noise and some flyaway. And for the noise, we're gonna generate it in XGen. But we're gonna need to go back in a few layers and add some cards. And we need to do a new one for transitional hairs here. We have these nice hairs here, but we still need to fill some space up in between. Go ahead and take this one. Actually, take all of them and add them to 11. And let's sync. So let's start out with this one. And actually we should go back a little bit. We need to make some clumps.